So you've got yourself a MacBook or MacBook Pro with a cracked screen. What are you going to do with it? In this video, I'll give you a couple options. Hey everybody, it's Chris from Family Geekery, and today I've got right here a MacBook Pro. This is a 2013 15-inch MacBook Pro, and it came to me with a broken screen. So I've had a couple of these over the years, and I've done different things with them, so I thought I'd share a little video here of what to do with a MacBook Pro that's got a cracked screen. Maybe you cracked it yourself, maybe you bought one, maybe someone gave it to you. Whatever the case is, let's see what we can do with this thing. So let's talk about a couple options we have for something like this. Now this screen is broken, but the glass, it looks good. It's just the display underneath is messed up, and we'll see that in just in a minute. So what do? The first option really, I guess, is to repair the screen. So whether you pay someone to do it for you, or you look it up on the internet and find out the steps and the parts that you're going to need to do it yourself, that is obviously the first option. Now what I would say about that is look at what the cost of the parts and what the labor is and everything, and then see if you add that amount of money back to owning this machine, if it's going to be worth it to you. At some point, it's not going to be worth it. And what I would say is figure out what you think the machine is worth perfectly working. So let's say this was worth $300 perfectly working, and find out if the cost to replace the screen or the cost to fix the screen is more than 1/3 of that price. Then start thinking about it. So more than $100, it's absolutely going to be more than $100 to fix this screen. So that's not worth it to me. Now if you had a, let's say, $2,000 machine and the cost to fix it was $300, then absolutely, I think that $300 is well spent. So that's the first thing you need to figure out is it worth fixing for yourself? So that's option number one, fixing the screen, getting it back to working condition, and using it. Now some of that may be determined on how attached you are to the laptop in the first place. If it's got either sentimental value, or if it's got some stuff on it that you want to be able to use again, some special features or some special internal hardware that you really love, then maybe it's worth a little bit more to fix it. But if that's not the case, then figure out if it's worth the price of fixing and go from there. And that leads me to option number two. Option number two would be to sell the machine. So obviously you want to take your data off of it, save anything that you need to save off of it, wipe the hard drive clean if you can, or take the hard drive out before you sell it. But after you get all that figured out, then go sell it. Now, is someone going to buy a laptop with a broken screen? My simple answer to that is yes, someone is going to buy it. I just bought this one knowing that the screen was broken. And there's people out there like me that may want to either fix it or may either want to use it for some of the other stuff that we're going to be talking about. So figure out a price of what you think it's worth. Maybe do some research on eBay and see what laptops with the same exact specs with a broken screen. They're usually going to be listed as parts only on eBay, or for repair only, or something like that. Figure out what it's worth, and then if it's worth more to sell it and apply that money towards a new one than it is to fix a screen, then I think that's the best bet for you. Alright, so far we got option number one, fix it and keep it. Option number two, get rid of it, sell it for whatever you can. You can even part it out if you want to. You may get money for the hard drive after you clean it off, the RAM, individual parts on it. So you may be able to get more money by parting it out than by selling the thing complete as is. But those are your first two options. Option number three is going to be keep it and use it. Now how are we going to keep this and use it? I'm going to also call option number three, turn this thing into a Mac Mini. So check this out. We're going to grab a monitor, we're going to grab a keyboard, we're going to grab a mouse, and we're going to turn this thing into a Mac Mini. So hold on 1 second, I'll be right back. Alright, so this is what the screen looks like on this one. Like I said, the screen is not cracked. It's just the display underneath it is all messed up. And you can actually get to, about this much of the screen and still use it. It looks like garbage, but you can still use it a little bit. So give me 1 second, I'm going to turn this thing into a Mac Mini. Alright, so here it is. Here's the same MacBook. I've got it plugged into a cheap monitor, and if you don't have a monitor already and you've got a broken screen, you can pick up a monitor like this, a cheap one, for probably $10 anywhere on Marketplace or Craigslist. If you want to get a really nice one, then obviously going to be about $100 to get a nice 1080p screen at your Best Buy or some other retailer. But this is just a cheap monitor that I hooked up just to show you how easy it is to get this thing working. And I've got myself a Apple keyboard here, and then down here I've got a trackpad. And you could use any kind of USB mouse and keyboard. You can go down to Walmart and buy a wireless combo kit for like $20 that has a keyboard and mouse and a little wireless dongle. Plug that dongle into your USB port and you'll be good to go. I just happen to have these sitting around here, so I'm using them. So let's go ahead and check out this particular Mac here. And you can probably see now why I went ahead and purchased this broken laptop, knowing that it had a cracked screen and knowing that I wasn't going to be using it as a laptop, because this is a 15-inch 2013 2.3 gig i7 with 16 gigs of RAM. So this thing still's got some pretty good life in it. For the price that I paid for it, this is a heck of a computer to dock up like this and use as a Mac Mini. You'd be able to do photo editing, video editing, day-to-day stuff easily, and you get some good bang for the buck out of this thing. So if you have the need for, to continue doing your work or set this up for one of your kids for their schoolwork, then you can, for under $100, get a mouse, keyboard, and a monitor and hook this thing up, and it'd be a lot cheaper than fixing the screen. Obviously, you lose the portability of having a laptop that you can take with you, but if you're just going to have it on a desk anyways, then this is a good way to get some use out of it. Now, to get this all done, like I said, you would need a mouse and a keyboard. That's easy. You can get those anywhere. You need a monitor. You've got lots of options on that, whether you want to spend a couple bucks or spend some good money on it. Or you can pick up a used Apple display. I did a video a couple months ago on using an Apple display, and that thing is a beautiful monitor, 27-inch, QHD monitor. That would be perfect for this setup because it's about from the same time frame. And to get this all hooked up, you can either use, in this particular one, use the HDMI port on the right side to hook up to an HDMI monitor. In this case, I'm going old school. I got just a mini display port to VGA adapter, and I'm going VGA right into this thing, getting a whopping 1600 by 900 resolution. So I wouldn't recommend doing this. I would recommend getting like a 1080p screen and having a nice display. But if this is all you got and this is what you got sitting around right now and it costs you $0 like it did for me, plug it in and there you go. You got something you can work with. So now that we got this thing running like a Mac Mini or like a desktop, what else can we do with it? Well, I've got a video that I'll put a link right up there about turning a Mac Mini into a Plex server. So that's something you can use this for at home if you have no other use for it. If it's just going to be sitting around, then turn it into a Plex server. Plex is a platform that you can use to serve your own media, like music and videos, back to yourself, and then you can play them on your TVs. Or there's a whole Reddit subreddit on self-hosted alternatives to popular services, and this is r/self-hosted. So you can learn how to make your computer at home into like a cloud server for a whole bunch of different things. So you can just scroll through here and see all kinds of things that you can install on this computer and potentially save yourself some money from something that you've been using like Dropbox or cloud services or anything like that. So I know cracking the screen on your MacBook is probably the worst feeling in the world to do, but I just wanted to make this video to show you that it's possibly not the end of the road for your favorite machine here. Give it some new life, give it a new purpose, find something else to do with it, get rid of it, get a new one, whatever you want to do. Hopefully I gave you a couple choices. So hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, go ahead and give me that thumbs up. I appreciate that, and the channel loves it. And if you want to see more stuff like this, check out the rest of the channel and hit the subscribe button. Let me know down in the comments below if you have any questions about anything, or if you've got some other helpful tips for other watchers, what you've done with maybe you've cracked your screen and you found another use for it. Let me know down in the comments below what you did. But other than that, I want to thank you as always for watching, and until next time, peace out and geek out.